So I won't lie, I am not Jewish. So even though I found some of the jokes pretty funny, some of the jokes literally went phew, 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 because I had no idea what they were talking about. Chase Lee Hockey here, the Blue Futon, reviewing Between the Temples. So, Between the Temples, I don't know why it's called that when I think about it, because it's about, this movie is simply about Jason Schwartzman. Horrible, he's having a horrible life. Wife died. He just wants to commit suicide. I'm going to say not a funny suicide scene, but something happens with the truck in the very beginning. It's pretty damn funny. But anyway, he meets this lady in the 60s, which he's like, wait a minute, I know her. She was a music teacher when he was in, I believe, 8th grade. And now she wants a bar mitzvah, even though they're for 13-year-olds. She's like in her 60s and she wants it. So they're going to fast forward it and do it. However, since I guess in the Jewish community, you have to marry someone that is Jewish. If I'm okay, that's completely wrong, but they have to convert to Judaism. And now he's trying to find the new love of his life, but is it actually this old English or music teacher? Why am I thinking English teacher? I must have watched another movie. Anyway, did I like this film? I thought it was pretty well crafted, pretty funny, and just an overall good time in the movie theater. The technical aspects of this movie, I really dug it, because this movie felt like just a old school filmed comedy. I don't know if this was filmed on film. I doubt it was digital, but I just like the feel of it. It just felt, that's what it was. It felt cheap, but it wasn't cheap like A Christmas Story. Some of the elements of this movie felt like A Christmas Story, especially when like Ralph is running away from, the bad guys. That had the same scene in this with T and other scenes. So this had a Christmas Story-esque feel to it, but based in the Jewish community and, an R-rated comedy. So I like the feel of it. I haven't felt that in such a long time. So I love the feel of it, because the weird camera would be weird zoom ins, weird zoom outs, and just like odd placements where you're just like, oh, am I part of this conversation? And it did feel that way, and I really dug that feel. Jason Schwartzman, fantastic job. The supporting cast also does a great job with what they're trying to portray of him struggling with life. Can he actually sing? Will he find love? What is he going to do in his past, because he's kind of been in this rut, his 2 moms and things like that. So there were good elements to that as well. So when I said the phew in the beginning, I don't understand like when he goes to the bar and they get mudslides. Is that a Jewish thing? Is it because it's non-alcoholic? I mean, there's other non-alcoholic beers and stuff, but what's with a mudslide? I don't get that joke. I guess there's also other jokes when they're in the synagogue or while he's teaching his kids. Some of the jokes, it was just like going over head. Yes, I understand the foreskin joke because, foreskin, the Jewish. Anyway, there is that joke. I thought that was pretty funny as well. This is kind of a simple movie to talk about, because it's literally about a guy trying to figure out what he's going to do, kind of a midlife crisis. Of course, you can talk about, acting, technical craft, blah, 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 but it's a very simplistic story that there's not a lot to dive deep into. It's basically, will this guy find love? Is he looking in the wrong place? And that when he professes his love, is he hurting his family? Is he hurting the Jewish community? Because technically, she isn't Jewish. Her, great-grandfather was, and her, pescatarian or Catholic. But there is a very good scene to deal with atheism. And a lot of movies do this now, how they, portray vegans and atheisms as, their noses up at everyone else. And it's the same way with this movie, because her son comes in, and he's thinking Jason Schwartzman is, boyfriend-girlfriend thing, but it's not at that moment in the time of the film. But he's like, I'm full-blown atheism. I don't understand religion. And he just dogged his mom for wanting to have a bar mitzvah. She's like, well, you're not even Jewish. And it's kind of interesting. Then his wife and 2 kids are more intrigued. Even though we might be atheists, what do you do in a bar mitzvah? What is Judaism? What is Mormonism and things like that? So that was a very good scene with the son just being a dick, being a, atheist. And I do feel like atheists are when you talk about religion, they nose up, we're better than you. How dare you believe in a God? It's simmer down. They're not hurting your life. They just want to have this in their life. And why do you feel like you have to attack your mom that way? That's just very nasty. There's also a good scene in this movie about him going to a church, like a Catholic church. He's like, this is my first time in here. And he was asking, heaven and hell. Apparently in Judaism, they don't believe in heaven or hell. And he was talking about, if I go, will my wife follow me? And he's like, that might be a Mormon thing. And, just fun tongue-in-cheek humor elements in this movie that really made it relatable to, I think, not just the Jewish community, but also, like I said, the Catholic community, and just, are we that different? And what is the little differences in each religion to make everyone different? I know, like, the very different one, of course, like Scientology, Mormonism is pretty different. And what's the one where they don't believe in birthdays and they can't do blood transfusions? Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? It starts with the J, right? Jehovah's Witness. That's what it is. So, it's good thinking material overall. But yes, Between the Temples, I don't know what the between section is, but Jason Schwartzman carries this movie. He does a great job. Supporting cast, great job as well. It does make you think. It has some good comedic elements. Yeah, some jokes go over my head because I'm not a Jew. So, there is that. But you know what? I had a good time with this movie. It zoomed by pretty quick for an hour and 50 minutes, and I just enjoyed myself. So Between the Temples will receive a 4.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 90%. I just realized the people that probably are dogging on my kneecap review will hate this movie. Because I'll tell you one thing, there is one religion that will absolutely refuse to watch this film. Anyway, let's see what the critics and user scores gave this one. So we have critics at 86% with 88 of them. The popcorn meter, which is horrible, there's nothing yet. Critic consensus, immeasurably elevated by the chemistry between Carl, Kane, and Jason Schwartzman. Between the Temples uses engrossing, character-driven dramedy to explore deeply relatable aspects of the human experience. Absolutely cannot disagree or agree. I agree. Let's put it that way. Anyway, 86. Chase Leoc here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Bluetonian. You Bluetonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. You can watch this tape tomorrow, a week from now, a month, or a year from now. We're a freaking one of you. And yeah, if you can find this one, try to watch it, but it will disappear from theaters pretty damn quick.